Are you sure about this, Sean?
It's only an assumption. I think it's a good one, Frisco. It's probably why we could never match up that partial thumbprint we got from the antidote file with any of the employees. And I'm sure that the DVX would never put one of their agents' prints on any employee card.
So what do we do now?
You know how long it's going to take to make new prints of all the employees?
That could take days.
Yeah, we don't have days. We probably don't even have hours.
Well, what the hell are we going to do?
How do we speed up the process?
I think I know of a way.
And what's that?
Wolfgang, the palm print scanner outside the lab records the prints of anyone who enters, right?
Yes.
All right, so by comparing those prints with employee records, we should be able to figure out the genuine ones. And by a process of elimination, we should be able to come up with one print that doesn't match any of the employee cards.
And that'll be our man.
Or woman.
Let's get the records.
Right. Did you get the phone? It might be the hospital.
Donnelly's office.
Oh, Frisco?
Felicia, what do you want?
I wanted to plan something very special for this evening, and I was wondering what time you might be home.
I don't know when I'll be home.
Oh, I thought maybe we could have somebody over for dinner.
Honey, I'm with Sean right now. I really can't talk.
Then don't.
Frisco, come on. We've got to get those prints out of the scanner.
Right.
Come on, let's move. I'm doing very well, Doctor.
Do you suppose you could call me Greta?
I'd be delighted. I'm known as Buzz.
Buzz, I like that. How's the pulse?
Very close to normal. I'm told you've been an excellent patient.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that. Do they give good patients privileges around here?
Not privileges, but I could give you a reward. How about a gold star on your chart?
Well, actually, I had something else in mind. After all these sponge baths every day, I would absolutely love to take a shower. To stand under a warm, nice shower. Absolute heaven, do you think?
Let's see what Monica has to say about that. Think there'd be any harm in your having a shower? But I'd like a nurse in there with you.
Oh, that's all right. I understand.
I'll send Amy in to help. That way, if you get bored in the shower, she can fill you in on all the hospital gossip.
I would love it.
I remember I had a shower once. Many of my colleagues here have been after me to have yet another one.
Why do I try? Huh? We didn't get to go to the Caribbean. No. We didn't get to go to Bermuda. No. We didn't get to go to the Bahamas. We didn't get to go to Tahiti. We didn't get to go to the Orient. We didn't get to go anywhere. We didn't get to go to Australia. Oh, wow. Maui. No! We couldn't go anywhere. Who is it? Bobbie. Come in.
Question is, my dear, do you want to see me?
What?
You sound very angry. What is all of this?
Well, I threw everything there. I'm angry. I'm furious. I am just furious with Frisco. He thinks about nothing but the WSB. He doesn't care about anything except for playing cloak and dagger with Sean. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't... All he thinks about is the WSB, and he doesn't care about me.
Does that work?
What?
Throwing things.
Yes, it does. Do you mind? What?
I want to see if it works for me.
Oh. Sometimes it takes more than one thing, Bobbie. Be sure you don't break anything, because if you break something, then it makes you even more angry, and you don't want to get any more angry, because that defeats the whole purpose of throwing everything. Why are you so upset?
Good old smirky Lucy Coe. You got problems with the WSB?
Yes, I know I do.
You don't know what a problem is until you come up against Lucy Coe. Would you like me to continue this, or you want to let off a little more steam?
Oh, no, I'm fine. I don't want to hurt the pillows anymore. You go ahead.
I sound like such a grind whenever I talk about it. And, you know, I feel like I'm this lonely voice out in the wilderness.
Oh, please don't be lonely. I'm right here.
Well, thank you very much, because I can't stand that glazed look that I get in Jake's eyes every time I mention the name Lucy Coe. You want to hear about her latest stunt? Nobody in the world will believe that it was a stunt except for me.
I would.
Tony decided yesterday to give little Lucy a little birthday party. However, Lucy had invited Jake and me to come over there for lunch because we have some problems and we had to talk about them. So there we are, Jake and I over there, when Lucy walks in to Tony's happy birthday banner and surprise, and she acts So touched, and so surprised, and so sweetly, sickeningly sentimental.
Ah, so she knew he was giving her that surprise birthday party all along?
Very perceptive, my dear, and thank you very much. Every single time I try to bring this up to Jake, he acts as though he's shocked about the way my mind works.
Well, Lucy brings out the worst in everybody.
And the thing is, I know she did it for our benefit. I can't prove it, but I know she did it for our benefit. She just played the whole thing.
She must have been convincing, huh?
Ah, to the men, are you kidding? Of course. Not to me, though. She's like this poor little match girl who's being adopted by Daddy Warbucks.
I know exactly what you mean, and you can't breathe a word of it to Tony either, can you?
Not to Jake, either.
What is she up to?
Tony. She's worming her way into Tony's life.
Tony got angry with me the other day because I said something like that. And I said, I'll just stay out of your personal life.
Is Frisco aware of what's going on?
Bobbie, Frisco only knows the WSB.
And when I say anything to Tony, he just becomes more protective of little Lucy. And I have to be very careful of what I say to him because I don't want to drive him into her clutches.
When Frisco and I were there, she made it perfectly clear that she was the lady of the house.
Huh. You know, the thing is, you can't blame Tony for any of this. And it's true. After you lose somebody that you really love, it takes at least a year before you can even feel straight about it. And it's common knowledge. You're not supposed to make any important decisions, not for a very long time.
I miss Tanya. She was really good for us, all of us.
You really do lose your identity when you lose a partner that you really love. It takes a while before you really know who you are again.
What do we do?
Well, I'm just going to wait for her to make another mistake, only this time with witnesses. Because I'll tell you something, you can't say anything if you can't prove it. Lord knows I've lived with a lawyer long enough to know that.
I'm definitely going to keep an eye on her. You know, there's been something in the back of my head, and I really can't figure it out. It's about Tanya.
Give it your best shot.
Well, it seems to me that when Tony faced his loss, he found it unendurable. Now, if he could just realize that, well, what I'm trying to say is that it wasn't a complete loss, because we still have Tanya in our hearts. And if we could figure out some way that he could just let that go.
Felicia?
What?
That's it. What you just said. About letting it go.
How?
Well, you remember that idea that Tanya had about setting up a child care center at General?
Yes, I do. And we were going to continue on with it after she died as a memorial.
Well, come on, let's get on with it now, because it's a terrific idea, and it's going to be very good for all of us. And I think it'll be especially good for Tony, because then he won't feel such a sense of complete loss.
I'm starting to feel good about this already.
You know what we have to do with this? We've got to take it to Steve Hardy.
All right, when?
Right now?
Right now. I'll get my bag.